Hi, this is me, the Failed Messiah, on YouTube. I just wanted to go ahead and make a few little taking a walk right now. But I decided I'll just go ahead and make a video, and you can see for yourself what my thoughts are on the whole Overeem testing positive for PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, or not necessarily PEDs, but having his testosterone levels, his T to E ratio was 14 to 1, where that's pretty much impossible to have unless you're taking something synthetic into your body. Now, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they have a limit of 6 to 1 testosterone to epitestosterone. And that gives you a pretty good leeway, where you can still you do a cycle, and when you're kind of coming down from that cycle, it would still, you're still within the acceptable levels. But he has tested more than double the allowment for it. Now, I want to get into this testing issue just a little bit, and just kind of just say that it's just a game. It's just a coy game that they play between the UFC and the Athletic Commission. It's really just for appearances. It's just for something that kind of gives the illusion that there's kind of a regulation going in. But I work in a business, and for me, it's like you do something right or you don't do it at all. That's it. If you do it right the first time, you don't pussyfoot around. You don't you don't try to take a shortcut. Just do it right. And the thing is that with the urine testing, it's the easiest drug test to pass. I've known several people that have passed piss tests, say smoke marijuana or whatever, which stays in your system for a long time. But they have passed these piss tests because they took some type of detox formula that basically cranberry juice, vinegar with water, just so many different types of remedies. Especially because the random drug tests that they get like a 48-hour window to take it, so it gives them plenty of time to really flush their system out. And they passed the urine sample test. Some of them don't, some of them just didn't get enough, or they smoked just way too much, just an egregious, outrageous amount of drugs that they take, and it's just like, a 48-hour detox is not going to do it. So I say do it right with it, which is a blood test. Okay, now blood tests can test anything from like 6 months all the way up to a year. So the testing wouldn't have to be as frequent if they did a blood test. But yet they always claim that it's going to cost too much money. No, it's going to cost a lot of money. What has cost a lot of money? Having events being canceled, main events being canceled, fights being canceled. That's cost a lot of money. It's not the blood testing, which is like very easy. They take like one small vial of your blood, and that's it. It's pretty simple, and they can catch everything. See, that's another thing about these urine samples, that yes, they find out that his testosterone, his epitestosterone ratios are off, but they don't know exactly what he put into his body. Where if they took a blood test, he would know. And what is even more extreme than a blood test would be hair follicle test. That goes back to years. I mean, that goes like 5 years back. If you're gonna like apply for like the CIA or the FBI or something really high level security, they're gonna do a full blood test, obviously, and they're gonna go with the hair follicle. That is the most extreme. That is the most expensive, and like takes a very long time for them to test that as well. But the blood test is not. It's very doable. If they really want to go ahead and just get it down with the, they really want to go ahead and do away with the PED usage and the drug usage, really go with the blood test. Go with the blood test. You're going to get everything. You're going to get a lot of questions answered. You're not going to get a lot of speculation. It's a lot harder to use masking agents and to be able to use PEDs. So do the blood test. Or second option, don't test for PEDs. Have it like Pride. We don't test for them. That's it. We only test for like street drugs and maybe painkillers or whatever. PEDs, those are fine. Just have it that way. Don't play the game anymore. But the thing is that Dana knows it's a business, and he probably knows people use it when they're not fighting or whatever. And he's like, you know what? Do what you want to do. Just don't get caught. Right? That's his idea. Because you know what? He wants to put on the best fights. We want to see the best fights, you know? And a lot of these fighters are kind of like, feel that they get this edge, you know? And they know the consequences is of 1 year of suspension, right? But they still take that chance anyway because they need that edge. So it's like, first and foremost, just go ahead and just do it right. You know, don't let it be just if you're going to be someone that will be against the blood testing because it's too invasive or whatnot, then be an advocate for someone that just says, you know what, this PED stuff is bad, but you know, let's go ahead and just try to legalize these PEDs. Because TRT's testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, is legal, and a lot of other sports don't even allow that. In MMA, it's like the one exception. So, you know, there should be kind of like, it's either do it right or don't do it at all. I keep pressing this issue ad nauseum, but that is just the truth of the matter, is just do it right. And I just hate, Overeem is like one of my favorite fighters. He always brings it. And I always suspected that he took something, but I was like, look, you're innocent until proven guilty, okay? And I just basically look at it like that. And yeah, so that's why I've always, now he's in trouble. We don't know about the test samples. He hasn't had his test sample be taken, but I'm not even sure how that's taken. Do they basically have him piss in 2 bottles and 2 little cups or whatever? Or they have him piss in one cup, and then they just split that 1 cup into 2 vials, so he has like 2 test samples? Or do they have him piss in a cup like an hour, and then like an hour later they have him piss in another cup? Like, I'm not really sure how that works. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that. But as far as like PEDs are concerned, I think, you know what, these are grown-ass men, and I would say just let them do what they want to do. I mean, it's not our job to say like what drugs are bad and everything, and that's kind of, I guess, the libertarian in me. I think that, you know, that there should be more emphasis on people basically making their own decisions, because what ends up happening is that the government gets involved and they say, well, no, obviously these people can't make their own decisions, right? And so the government's going to come in and make the decisions for you. And that's ultimately happened with like the criminalization of drugs, because back in the 1920s, when they had prohibition on alcohol, every drug was decriminalized. Marijuana, cocaine, where Coca-Cola actually had cocaine, and every other drug. But once prohibition ended on alcohol, you know, they figured, hey, we got to make revenue somehow. So they obviously criminalized all the other drugs that were out there. So, you know, you have to take a bit of a personal responsibility on your own self, and you know, that's part about being free, living in a free country, than living in an authoritarian kind of country where they basically make up your mind for you. That's not a place I would want to live. But yeah, I say where I stand is do it right, blood test, full blood tests, and they won't have to do random tests with a blood test, because the blood test goes back months, like up to a year. I said with certain types of PEDs and everything, it can go up to a year blood test. So really, the blood test, they only need to take a blood test before the fight. That's it. They don't need to do any type of, because yeah, that blood test is going to go a long way. You know, it can definitely go 3, 6, 12 months, those blood tests for certain types of PEDs. So yeah, in closing, I just wanted to say, I hope it gets sorted out. I hope they find a good replacement opponent for Junior Dos Santos. If Overeem doesn't get his appeal or get his license actually. So if he doesn't get his license, I hope they find a good opponent. I said Mark Hunt because I don't know, I think it would be a lot more interesting fight than him fighting Frank Mir, because I think Frank Mir would just get demolished in the first round, knockout. I can't stand Frank Mir, so I don't mind seeing him get knocked out. I actually kind of like that, and I'm a big fan of Junior Dos Santos, so I wouldn't mind. But I think Mark Hunt would pose the bigger threat and the more exciting fight. All right, Fail Messiah out.